Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and this is going to be a Star Wars Jedi Survivor breakdown, trailers and theories and speculation. There's a lot I gotta talk about in this video, so I'm gonna play the trailer for you guys first so you guys could see it, those who didn't see it at the Game Awards. And then we're gonna break it down, so here we go.
The order is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. I will not be imprisoned again.
I hear you've been busy making yourself the Empire's most wanted.
Jedi. Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
Here we go. After all we've done, the Empire's only grown stronger. Job, Gustus.
The Jedi is a threat.
Not now that we have this. As long as we fight. Hope survives.
Alright, so now we're gonna go into the breakdown.
The order is gone.
Alright, so the first shot we got here is the same shot that we got from the Star Wars Celebration trailer when it showed this Survivor of the Jedi Order. If you guys watch my older video on that trailer, you know that I was speculating that this guy in the pod may be the true Jedi Survivor, but I do believe and I'm convinced that this may just be Starkiller, and here's why.
I was betrayed.
So he says
The order is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. I will not be imprisoned again.
So this guy mentions how the war is over and how he was betrayed by the one he trusted the most and he will not be in prison again. Now, if any of y'all played the Force Unleashed games, you know that Force Unleashed 2 took place during the time of the war. Like, during the time of the war in, like, close to, A New Hope, or whatnot. Now, it is highly possible, now because of the ending and the time span of that game, there is two options, right? Now, we do know that in the first Force Unleashed game that they were at war, like the war was still happening. Now, this is why I say I believe it's Starkiller. One, because of the dialogue, and B, because that voice, I do believe that is Sam Witwer, because you could kind of hear it, his voice in these lines.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
But also, I do like this shot here with Cal like walking around the tank and like kind of checking out the whole thing, what's going on. And also, if you guys don't see, you could kind of see like little like these look like dark side vines in the background, and these also look like other pods. So that's very, very interesting and very, very cool to see.
I will not be imprisoned again.
And it is that line right there that makes me believe that's Starkiller. Because if you don't know about Starkiller, you know that Darth Vader imprisoned him as his own apprentice, but also imprisoned him like twice. Once in the first game and once again in the second game because of the whole clone process. So if that is Starkiller, the way I would have this make sense is that because this game is implied that this is going to take 10 years after the events of Fallen Order. And if you don't know the timeline, Fallen Order took 9 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. So so close to the beginning of A New Hope, and in between, or not in the close beginning of A New Hope. It took place in the close beginning of Rebels. So the close begin in Rebels, and somewhere like close in between before the Battle of Yavin. So this game is going to take 10 years after those events, meaning in this timeline fashion, this is going to be taking place in between season 2 to 3 of Rebels and somewhere around season 4 of Rebels to the Kenobi series before the Battle of Yavin. And I'm gonna say it takes, I'm not gonna use season 4 because season 4 of Rebels was technically like close to the beginning of, like it was a few more years before the Battle of Yavin, so, or before Return of the Jedi. So this game is going to take place most likely 10 years after the events of Jedi's Fallen Order / the beginning of Rebels, and probably going to take place in between season 2 of Rebels to season 3, while also probably taking place in the beginning of the Kenobi series. So while this is happening, Kenobi is still like helping Luke. Ezra, Ahsoka, and Kanan are probably like fighting Darth Maul at the moment, or just got done fighting Maul, meaning that, and this was because we don't know where Vader went after Cal fought him, so meaning this probably takes somewhere in between season 2 to where Ahsoka fought Vader, and somewhere in the beginning of season 3 Rebels. But alright, so we got this next shot of Cal fighting which seems to be a mysterious Jedi who seems to have the same lightsaber style as Cal, but it's orange. And this is very mysterious because I don't know who this could be, but the fact that he has the same like lightsaber hilt and like emitter as Cal, maybe this is a different Jedi that was a apprentice before Cal. But then again, we only know of that one. We only know that Cal was that his I forgot his name, but the only student that we know of in the first game. So I'm very interested to see if this is the other half of his master's lightsaber, because you know his master's lightsaber got broke or was broken. So I'm very curious to see if this is the other half, or if this is just some random like Jedi person who decided to make his lightsaber similar. But the graphics on this game look crazy. It does look like they improved the lighting on the lightsabers a little bit, which I'm happy about. But also, I feel like this is probably going to be better than the first fight against the second sister. Alright, so the next shot we got is Cal and BD in the Mantis, which seems to be them crashing onto this weird planet, but this can also be a callback to how Han Solo and Finn crashed on Starkiller Base, the way it was shot. So
I will not be imprisoned again.
also this shot right here, this also seems to be, if you guys can kind of look, these also seem to be this robot that Cal is stabbing through the face. Also seems to be the same robot that appeared back in the Clone Wars. And if you don't know, back in the Clone Wars era to the Revenge of the Sith era, they would have these robots that would have these. I forgot the name of the robots, but it's very cool to see them making a return. And I don't know what planet that Cal is on where he found these, but this is going to be very interesting to see us fight these. But yeah, so and I'm glad this is the case because in my last speculation video I did say, like, it seems like they kind of might have crashed, like maybe they get shot down, or maybe like sorry y'all. But I did say, like, maybe they get shot down, or maybe like they just crash land on this like a desert planet. So this is now in terms of how they get here and how they got there, I do feel like they got shot down, and because they got new gameplay features, which we'll get into very soon, I wonder if they're going to give us the gameplay feature, which I speculated about in my last video. I wonder if they're going to give us a gameplay feature to where we can, like, officially take control of the Mantis and kind of like have these space battles and like take out TIE fighters and stuff. Because if that's the case, I think it would be really cool that we take control of the Mantis, and then somehow we get shot, or maybe the engine gets shot. So now we're crash landing on this planet. Now we gotta get like these gears to fix the Mantis and whatnot. Like, I think that would be really, really cool. But yeah, also you could kind of see that the Mantis has a new or had a new design. And then I love this shot right here of just Cal and BD standing on the rock with the sun. But this can also this is also a callback to how Luke in the New Hope era would walk up to the edge of the cliff and kind of stare off into the sunset. So I think it's really cool that we're getting a lot of callbacks into, or a few callbacks in this trailer as well. Also, I like how this is designed, because you could kind of see everything. Like, the texture is crazy, but also I like how you can see like the little, like there's a little, I believe that's a city up there. Like, you can literally see everything from the shot, and from the shot it looks like this is a deserty like town is. Like, this town, like this planet looks like it used to be civilization, but it got overran by the Empire. And I think that's going to be a big part in this game, to where we're going to be going to different planets, and similar to Star Wars Rebels, how Ezra and the Ghost Crew were going around to different planets, freeing them from the Empire. I believe this is going to be the same thing for Cal. So while this is going to probably take place again in this season 3 of Rebels, or season 2/3 of Rebels, while Ezra's out here freeing each planet from the Empire, Cal is doing the same thing as well. So I think, and honestly, because we know a secret planet in the first game was the planet that Darth Maul was from. So I think it would be really cool, and I mean really, really cool, because it takes 10 years. And in the time of season 2 or 3 of Rebels, I think it would be really cool if Cal met Ezra Bridger. Or maybe if he even met Kanan. Because we do know that Kanan, through his lifespan of being a Jedi Padawan to being with the Ghost Crew, we do know that there was people that he ran into and says etc. So I think it'd be really cool. And if he doesn't meet Ezra, he could meet Hera, because Hera is in the what's the show called? She is in Endor. She's in Endor, and she's also going to be in the Ahsoka show, from what I have seen and heard. So it could be possible that Cal meets Hera, or he meets Kanan. I want him to meet Kanan just because I want to see that dynamic between those two. Like, just like for a quick team up second. Like, maybe Cal helps Kanan with something before he gets blind, or before, like, he sacrifices himself in season 4. Like, I want to see that team up dynamic. But yeah, I think that would be cool.
I hear you've been busy making yourself.
And then the next shot we got is a shot of Cere. The next shot we got is a shot of Cere, who seems to be in a Jedi temple. Now we do know that in Revenge of the Sith, the Jedi temple was overrun, but we do know that in 10 years' time, that in the comic books, both canon and legends, that Luke Skywalker did go back to the Jedi temple to get more information on stuff that happened. So it could be very, very possible that because there is a book before the events of Survivor, like leading up of telling what happened to each of the Mantis members. So it could be, for this I got two theories. Either A, within the time of them all escaping, because the end of Fallen Order was Cal cutting up the holocron and pretty much telling, like, hey, so what do we do next? So it is possible that A, Cal, Cere, Mira, I believe her name was, the witch, or the Night Sister, and Grease, like all of them either went their separate ways, because you don't see any of them in this trailer. Like, Sarah's the only one we see in this trailer. Now, I'm not saying neither of them dead. Maybe they just went their separate ways, or maybe they're all chilling here. And if I had to take a guess, I would say they're probably all chilling here, because this looks like they're like civilization like run. But it's very interesting to see that it looks like they're going the route of Cal going solo. That's the first thing. Now the second thing is Gree and Manta or Mira. I think, again, gotta look up her name from the first one. But it's possible that Cal could have also been like somewhere in that book. Maybe the Night Sister got like very like injured a little bit, and Cal's like, okay, y'all gotta stay low, y'all, as long as y'all are with me, because I'm on the run. All of you guys aren't safe, so I'm gonna take you to a civilization. And maybe you can even have Sarah be like, well, there's one place I know about, which would be a good hideout for us. And that would like be this. So maybe Sarah and the rest of the crew are here at the civilization, because you do hear her say like, I'm here, I heard you're on the Empire's Most Wanted list. So they're probably gonna explain what happened to the rest of the crew in the game. I'm sure it's explained in the book, but I like how Sarah's got this like Agent Jedi look now. Like you can see saved off her hair. She's got like these tattoos, and it looks like she's like the librarian, or maybe just like the one behind the scenes now, to where she's just like, I'm gonna be behind the scenes, help you out, etc., and all that good stuff. But I'm very curious to see where the rest of the crew went. Also, I do like the texture and the design of everything, and this is on Unreal Engine 5, just to let you know.
The Empire's Most Wanted.
Alright, so we do get the Force Pull back, but it does seem like there is a new Force ability to where we could take control of these Stormtroopers and use them against each other now, which is really dope, because I'm like, dog, the gameplay that they showed in this trailer is going to crap on the first game. But you see that Cal can now use the Force to take control of a Stormtrooper and use them against each other. So I wonder if this is only for that, or if we're gonna be able to actually take like Force mind control of other Stormtroopers, like that may like have like flamethrowers, or like those I believe they were called jump troopers, or not, with the sticks. Like, I'm very curious. And the next shot we have is a shot of Cal touching, which seems to be a new creature that I've never seen this creature in Star Wars history before. So it's very cool to see that we're gonna be seeing different creatures in this now too. And this is actually on the trailer. We are going to be able to ride these creatures and use all this stuff. Another thing, if y'all didn't catch it, we got another callback to more Star Wars lore. Because if you don't know what that is a battle droid from the Clone Wars era. So we're gonna be seeing battle droids from the Clone Wars era. I mean, just to kind of get y'all a little more close up, you can see that is a battle droid, which I'm telling you now, I need to hear this. Like, I want to hear them be like, no, no, no. Oh, don't bother. Roger, Roger. Like, if I do not hear those, no, y'all can't give me battle droids and not have them speak. But yeah, it's really cool, and I'm really glad to see battle droids make a return, because I don't think we had any battle droids in the first game, and we do know by the timeline of Star Wars Rebels Season 3 that Rex, Ezra, and Kanan did go to a battle or a planet to where they ran into battle droids. And we do know that battle droids are still around in the time of them getting closer to A New Hope on different planets. So the fact that we're seeing more battle droids, it's really cool. And now this is my thing, because in the first game the final boss was very, very hidden, and the final boss was Vader. And taking retrospective that this is going to take place probably like to the close end of season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, and the like beginning to like close middle to / end of Star Wars Rebels season 3. Vader has arguably probably already been beaten by Ahsoka, and Ahsoka has most likely been saved, even though she doesn't get saved until like season 4. But just in retrospective, at this time of Cal being on this planet, Rex, Ezra, and Kanan are probably on their respective planet, fighting the battle droids. But I also do like the animation of how when Cal slices through the battle droids, they have the same like animation that they did in the Clone Wars. But another one, you see Cal who seems to be flying or holding on to this this bird creature. And then we get a little more like in-depth look at the civilization. This civilization does look familiar. Not saying this is probably a planet from Star Wars Rebels, but it could be. But then I'm not really too sure. This could be a completely new planet that we never explored yet or seen. And the glory about these games too is that we all know that all these games are connected to the movies and the tie-ins. And the one big question that I believe this game is going to fix is, where is Cal in all of this? Like, where is he at the battle, during the Battle of Yavin? Where is he during the time of Empire Strikes Back? Where is he, like, during the time of the events of Return to Jedi? Where is he, like, where is Cal in the events of these? Now, we do know in canon that Ahsoka met Luke. We know that she has met Luke, and we know that the reason she was not on the Battle of Endor is because at that time she was out there looking for Ezra. Like, she was looking for Ezra. So she still ran into Luke after the events of the Battle of Endor and the events of Return to Jedi. Now, there's plot holes to fill in here, right? Because I don't believe they're going to kill Cal, because most likely they're going to have a third game for him. But what they can do is that, because Kevin Monahan is Cal, now we do know that BD1 is in the Book of Boba Fett. Or not the Book of Boba Fett. The Mandalorian. We know he is in the Mandalorian. BD1 is in the Mandalorian. So, if BD is in the Mandalorian, one or two things happen. Either one, Cal and BD got separated, or B, they kill Cal in Jedi Survivor, and BD1 is alone. But I don't think they're gonna kill Cal. But I do think that because wherever BD1 is, Cal is. So it's never explained where Cal was in those events. But it is highly possible that Cal is like sort of like hiding out at this time. Or maybe he's back with Seer, because BD was on Tatooine, so meaning they went to Tatooine. So we're probably going to visit Tatooine in this game. And we're probably going to really find out what happened to Cal.
Jedi.
Alright, so the next shot we got here is a shot on the same planet, which seems to also be, we got shots of these new enemies, which I am very, very hyped to fight, because this guy right here on the left, woo, you saw what he did to Cal, bruh. But yeah, like this cutscene, this is also going to be very good for photo mode and stuff. But right here, this does kind of look like a cantina. So maybe this is a part or planet close to Tatooine. I'm not going to say this is Tatooine, because Tatooine is literally just a rocky desert planet. But this is like a rocky desert planet, so maybe this is a part of Tatooine that we've never seen before.
Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
Alright, so this is going to probably be our first encounter of the new enemy types, most likely. And this is where we're probably going to learn how to use the different play styles and stuff of Cal's new like gameplay. But you did hear who seems to be the boss of him, a Jedi. Remind our friend here why his kind is supposed to be dead. So till this day, people are still knowing that certain Jedis or not knowing that certain Jedis are alive. So, and most likely what I would want to see, and I think it would be cool if this is taking place in the time of season 2 of Rebels to the like close beginning of season 3, is we are most likely probably going to see the Inquisitor, or not the Inquisitors. We could probably see the Grand Inquisitor. Or one of his species types make an appearance to hunt down Cal, because we do know Cal fights a dark side user in that last show that we reacted to a few months ago. So, but this also does look like an area we're going to be able to explore and find out more secrets about this area. And this guy looks really, really cool.
Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
And and this is the biggest thing I wanted to touch on. We have freaking dual-wielded lightsabers. We have dual-wielded lightsabers. So, if you don't know, we did get dual-wielded lightsabers back in the first game, but it was only we could use them in a combo streak. We couldn't really, like, pull them out and use them ourselves. And yes, it's like 1:37 in the morning at the time of me recording this. This video is probably not going to be uploaded until like 12 p.m. or maybe even like 1 p.m. But I don't know when it's going to be uploaded. But, yeah, one thing that we all were asking for the sequel is that they give us the ability to actually use dual-wielded lightsabers as a fight style. And it does look like they're taken out of the Jedi Academy playbook style book, because if you don't know, in Jedi Outcast Jedi Academy, there were different stances and like different play styles you could have for your CAC. So you could have a stance of like to the left, high, low, dual wield, double blade, one blade. Like, you had all these different play styles. So I'm glad to see that they're bringing that back and whatnot. Now, one thing I'm curious about. So I wonder if they're going to let us customize like they did in the first game. If they're going to let us change the color of our crystal for these lightsabers. Because imagine having green and like red on these dual wielded lightsabers. Like, I'm about to, bro, if they give us, I know customization is gonna come back because we got the pre-order bonuses. So I know customization is gonna come back. It's just the crystal part that I'm very, like, I want to say they're gonna bring it back, which I believe they are. Like, just imagine, bro. I'm just saying right now, if they do bring that option back, which again I know they probably are, or most likely going to, yeah, I'm customizing the first saber green, and the second saber is going to be red. I don't care. Better yet, give me a freaking option to create the dark saber. I need it. But yeah, I'm gonna have very much fun with this style because I do like the dual wielded lightsabers. But this could also be because if you don't know, the first character that had dual wielded lightsabers was Starkiller. Starkiller was the first actual like Jedi to have dual wielded lightsabers. And he didn't get his dual wielded lightsabers until the second game. In retrospective, they kind of gave Cal the Starkiller treatment to where he starts off with a first saber, like standard saber, and then give him dual wields. So, but throughout the rest of the show, you see that Cal sort of like uses only one bladed lightsaber. So, but later on in the show, you do see like he's using like dual wielding, he's using double blade, he's using the cross guard. So there's gonna most likely be different like playstyles. So what I'm thinking is they're going to give us different options, because we do know that within the first game, Cal's able to like take apart his lightsaber due to the emitter that Cere gave him, and you like put it back together to make a double bladed. So for him to kind of make it a cross guard now is very interesting, because this means that there's 3 different options for play style, which is good. And another thing I want to point out, which kind of gives off a lot of Star Killers, why I think that guy in the pod of Star Killer, is the soundtrack at this point right here.
Supposed to be dead.
Here we go. After all we've done.
So that soundtrack actually was first heard in the Force Unleashed games, because the starter sequence for the title screens for both games has that theme of dum dum dum, like that type of soundtrack. So the fact that they're playing it, and you can kind of hear a switch between Starkiller's theme to Cal's theme from Fallen Order, which we're gonna take a listen to in a sec. After here, but dang, that never gets me. But we can also see we're gonna run into a new like I said, we're running into new creatures in this game too. So this creature actually looks like a abomination. But this, we do know that we went on to Kashyyyk last game. So I don't know what this place is, but it does kind of look similar to Kashyyyk a little bit. Like it does look a little bit similar to Kashyyyk, but in retrospective, this could be the same place, because if you go back,
Here we
go. This actually does look very similar to the same walkway that Darth Vader was walking on in the first Force Unleashed game. Because if you don't know, the first Force Unleashed game opens up with Darth Vader walking out of his ship and kind of like taking out Wookiees and looking for the Jedi that survived, which was Galen Merritt's father. And this was like the same walkway. The walkway in that game was sort of the same as this one, except it was very much more wooden instead of metal. So this could be the same place that Vader like invaded during the time of Force Unleashed 1, except they kind of, because the Empire is fully taken over, it is possible that they may have made the bridge a little more metalist instead of, you know, like the wood type lookus and all that. So, and I'm gonna present to y'all evidence on why I believe that theme is Starkillers and whatnot, and why this may be the same place Vader raided soon.
After all we've done.
So Cal says here, after all we've done, the Empire is still growing stronger. Now we get a quick shot here of all these stormtroopers like running out, ready to fight, along with a Death Droid in the background. So that Death Droid we actually seen in again. We saw that Death Droid in the background in Star Wars Rebels. So again, this may confirm the theory, or my theory, that this is taking place in the time of season 3 of Rebels, because the only time we've seen these like those death robots were in season 3 for the first time of Star Wars Rebels season 3. So, but so I'm guessing this is probably gonna be where we invade this ship, or maybe this might even be like a base, because it does look like a little base. Now there's gotta be a reason why we're invading the base. So probably it's probably gonna be that either A, we're gonna be saving somebody, or maybe Sarah gives us information like saying, like, you know, there's some guy, like a scoundrel, not a scoundrel, but like a collector in this Empire base. You gotta go save him. Or maybe even one of the Mantis crew members has been captured, and this is gonna be us saving them. Maybe it's the Night Sister who got captured, maybe it's Grease. Like, we don't know what this is gonna be, but I feel like we're gonna be saving somebody in the scene.
Fire's only grown stronger.
And then right here you get a more close-up look at the death. I'm gonna call them the death robots, because I don't remember the full name of them. I'm gonna look them up after the video. But yeah, so these were first seen in Star Wars Rebels Season 3. So I'm very convinced that this is going to take place in the time of Star Wars Season 3 of Rebels. So meaning that Season 2 already happened. So this also means, right, because the end of Season 2 had Darth Maul escape, and we know he was like out there for a while. I'm gonna take a sip of my water real quick. Hold on, y'all. But we know that damn you, Flim. But we know that Darth Maul escaped in Season 3, or not Season 3, Season 2 of Rebels, and that he was out there. Now, there's plot holes, alright, because we don't know who Maul ran into in the time of him looking for, like, the holocron and, like, all that good stuff, looking for Kenobi. We don't know who he ran into. We only know that he came back, and I believe it was episode 4 or 5-ish, like 4 or 5-ish, or episode 18, or whatever episode he came back, right? So it's highly possible, and this is, I remember talking about this to my friend Austin and Salty, which was because we saw Darth Vader within the first game. I would not be surprised if we actually ran into Darth Maul. So what I think would be really cool for this game is that somewhere along the lines of us exploring different planets, we actually run into Darth Maul himself. Like, we actually run into Darth Maul himself, and we have to fight him, kind of how we did with Malice in the first game. And I feel like this, because what that survivor in the tank actually possibly being Starkiller, one theory I had a long time ago within the first game coming out was because there have been, and I heard this from very like people who have connects to like insiders, we're saying that insiders were saying that they are writing Starkiller into canon. We just don't know how they're gonna do it. And if you've been keeping up with the shows and like games and whatnot, you would know that Starkiller has been mentioned multiple times, especially in the shows. Like in Endor, there's literally Star Killer's armor from the DLC of him becoming the true like Inquisitor Sith, right? So or him becoming the true Star Killer. So he's there. They're just right. They're trying to find. They're throwing hints and pieces out to let us know that they're writing him into canon, but they don't know how. So this could be a very good opportunity to say that that guy in that in that pod is Star Killer, and what I've said back in 2019 with the first game coming out was my speculation was maybe somewhere along the lines Cal runs into Star Killer, like maybe Star Killer is like chilling, is like, yo, like shows Cal how powerful he was because Cal doesn't know who he is and he feels like Cal's an intruder, so they have like a fight and he shows how powerful he is. And then maybe like he teases Cal, like, or gives Cal more information about the Empire and how to take over. Like, I thought he was going to show up in that game, but he didn't. So, with this possibly being Star Killer, this can be game changer for Star Wars canon, because this now means that Star Killer is canon, but also this would make for a opportunity for maybe the ending of this game will be Star Killer and Cal going on a new adventure and teaming up, or maybe just like Star Killer escaping once again, and then maybe we might get another game that that might actually be a Force Unleashed 3. You know what I'm saying? And you could kind of do a back and forth switch between that or Cal. Like, I want to see a Jedi Fallen Order 3 though after 2. So if that is Star Killer, just have it be Cal and Star Killer like on adventures together, and we like can learn more of what happened, etc. But so we also look like we got new finishers too. You saw that Cal kind of did like this move of tossing the lightsaber under the droid's legs and then cutting his arm off, and now he's going straight for the head. So new finishers. The finishers in this actually look clean. And one scene in this game, or in this trailer in particular, makes me think that we're going to be teaming up with random, like, new people and people from Star Wars shows. Why I say I think it would be cool for him to run into Kanan. Alright, so this right here actually looks like I could get a
Empire's only grown stronger.
Alright, so that's the closest I could get. So this right here, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like a new ship. It looks like a new ship, but it also looks like that may be like a robot with a shield. And if that's a robot with a shield, that kind of looks like the robot from Force Unleashed with the big shield and like the blaster or the freeze thing. But then again, I'm not sure. I don't think that is what that is. But then I could be wrong. But it looks like a ship. And the only reason I'm saying it's a ship instead of that robot is because you can kind of see the light here. Like, you kind of see a cockpit a little bit. And like the wings. So I want to say that's a ship. But most likely this is going to be a cutscene leading into gameplay and stuff. most likely. But it does look like Cal's trying to escape or get out of Dodge a little bit, because you see like he's kind of like struggling. You can also kind of see a little like a person in the ship a little bit, or maybe that's just a framing. But I really wonder if there's somebody in there. Maybe it's the guy from the last trailer. Alright, so this is new. So we got another shot, but this time it is a shot of, I don't know who this is, but a shot of a new ally helping Cal up, and this looks to seem to be the same city or a different city from where Cal was recently in the trailer, and it's more nighttime. So this is what I meant by going back to, like, we might see certain team ups in this game, like Cal with Kanan, or maybe Cal might team up with Hera, or he might even team up with like Han Solo. Hell, he could team up with Han Solo. The reason I say he could team up with Han Solo again, this takes 10 years. So and we know Han Solo is at this point still, like, you know, young at this point. He's not old like he is in the sequels. So he could run into Han Solo and Chewie. Like, we might get team ups, and I'm really hoping we get a team up with Cal and Kanan, or Cal and Ezra in this game. But this really looks good.
Thanks, Bode.
Okay, so from what Cal says, he says thanks, Bo. So I think this guy's name's gonna be Bo. So, but I like the background here. You kind of see, like, you get the idea that this is a dead planet, and that this planet has probably been dead for over 10 years since the Clone Wars, and since, like, the Empire invaded. But this is why I'm like, I really hope we get a team up between Cal and Kanan, or Cal and Ezra, because if you see here, Cal does a little finisher by stabbing the stormtrooper, and then you see Bo here run in, and Cal kind of help him off, and Bo hits the stormtrooper. So, like, imagine having Cal team up with Kanan, and there'll be like a sick finisher where Cal, like, force pushes Kanan up in the air, and like Kanan throws his lightsaber, or maybe even like Cal teaming up with Ezra, like what's the word I'm looking for, like Cal force pushing Ezra straight, or better yet, like throwing his lightsaber across to the stormtrooper, and then like Ezra throwing his lightsaber to Cal, and like they're both, and like maybe like Ezra use the force to take Cal's lightsaber, and they both like slice the stormtrooper. Like, it's just like the ideas that you can do with this if we're getting team ups with new characters, is just, bro, think about it. Like, the possibilities are endless. But right here we do see that Cal is fighting another creature, which looks to be like a dinosaur type creature. I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I'm probably gonna get effed up on this one. But however, I am gonna be playing this on hard mode, because that's what I did with the first one. I played it on the hardest mode. because if y'all don't know, me and my friends are real gamers and we like the challenge. So, yeah, just that. But this is probably gonna kill me. I'm not gonna lie.
The Jedi is a threat.
But this is what I meant by it goes into Cal's theme. So, earlier on in the trailer, you kind of heard Starkiller's theme, and then later on, you start hearing the mystery between Starkiller and Cal. So, I do believe that Starkiller is going to play a part in this game. And then you get this scene right here with more battle droids, or whatnot. These might be are these battle droids? I think these are battle droids. And if they're not the battle, no wait. Yeah, these are battle droids. So, these look like the battle droids that were upgraded. Like the ones that weren't dumb. Like the one back in a trailer earlier does look like the one that was like, does the Roger. But these ones look like the battle droids that were from season 3 of Clone Wars that got upgraded. But this also goes back into what I said about the different playstyles, because you see here that Cal has his double-bladed lightsaber and whatnot. So, but this also does look like the same planet that Cal has his first encounter with that alien creature that tells him, like, remind our friend why his kind doesn't exist anymore. So, this is probably the same planet, most likely.
Now that we have this.
And then we get the shot of a new character along with the same guy from early on in the trailer. We don't know this guy's name who's holding this which seems to be like an Asian artifact. And as you can see, he says, now that we have this. And that's pretty much all he says, now that we have this.
The Jedi is a threat. Now that we have part of the job, Gustus. The Jedi is a threat.
They say the Jedi is a threat. Also, Cal looks very, very older and more experienced. I like the outfit he has now compared to the poncho. But you hear this voice in the background that says the Jedi is a threat. So meaning, this part right here. I believe this is this guy, that was talking earlier that says, remind him why his kind doesn't exist anymore. Or why, remind him why his kindness isn't supposed to be alive anymore. I believe that's him saying the Jedi is a threat. And this is probably going to be that scene to where he's telling this guy, hey, this Jedi is like a real threat. Like he's out here trying to spoil our plans. And whoever this guy is, and whatever this thing is in his hand, this guy's like, now that we have this, maybe like we could do some damage to this Jedi. In terms of what that is in his hand, like, I want to say that's either A, like the communicator that Cal has been using to probably keep in contact with Cere. So maybe this guy's like, now that we have this communicator, we can like find out who he's been like in contact with, who's been telling them where we at, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Or this could be like an Asian artifact like the first game, to where made this thing that this guy is holding in his hand is going to be like the big end all be all thing that we're gonna have to be looking for close to the end of the game. But I think this is gonna be a communicator because it looks like a communicator. So I think this is gonna be the communicator that Cal uses to contact Sarah. Maybe just going off of the trailer, because the last trailer Cal got like beat by this like Sith Lord type of guy. So maybe in the time of him getting beat, because his light the Sith Lord has Cal's lightsaber, which means he may have lost it. So maybe he loses the communicator as well. Or maybe in that scene that we saw where he gets like blown off the side of the building, maybe the communicator falls off his hand and he loses it. So this guy picks it up and is like, okay, we got this now, so we can now like do some damage. Like, and maybe this might even be the guy that we're fighting, or that Cal is fighting with the orange lightsaber.
We have this.
And we also get the return of my favorite move, arguably. The move of slowing down time. But only, it seems like this is much more effective this time around, because it seems like you don't even have to be close to the enemies to slow it down. You could just be like a far mile away to like use the force to slow down time, or to kind of like dodge under the blaster bullets. Now this scene right here is clean. So you see that this stormtrooper is using a Gatling gun, and Cal is deflecting each blast with his dual wielding lightsabers, which is really, really cool. Like that's really cool. And I like how you can see like the blaster effects on the right. Like, dog, this is just like, that's so freaking clean.
As we fight. Not now that we have this. As long as we fight.
Also, another aspect of new gameplay is you see that Cal is trying to get over to the next side of this destructive rubble, and you can now see that Cal now has a grappling hook where he could swing across long distance gaps. Next side of where he needs to get to. And another gameplay feature that they now gave us is the ability to slide down with our lightsaber when we are on walls. So I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of sliding in this game, and a lot of like maneuvering to get to different places. And then we get this cool shot of Cal activating his new, I believe this is going to be the part where we fix our lightsaber once again, or adjust our lightsaber once more. And you see that Cal has now created the the crossguard lightsaber that was first seen in Star Wars Force Awakens. And this is also a callback to, like, this whole shot, the way it's shot, this is actually a callback to Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, to where Ezra picked up a lightsaber that he did not know about and activated, and found out that it was a crossguard lightsaber. So I like the callback to Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, on how Ezra activated to how Cal activated. And I feel like we're going to be getting a lot of references to callbacks to the TV shows and movies. So I do like this callback to Rebels Season 2. But this is going to be arguably the best Star Wars game, and Kevin Monahan at the Game Awards stated this, and I believe him, that this is the greatest Star Wars game of all time. So I'm like 10 times more hype. I would got 10 times more hype hearing him say that. Because I do believe him. I do believe him.
Hope survives.
And then you get this quick shot of Cal using the single-bladed lightsaber and goes into the cross guard. So this is gonna be a very, very good playstyle because we're gonna be switching between each playstyle. And yeah, okay. Confirmed. Okay, so now that we got a little more look at the battle droid, these are the battle droids from season 3 of Star Wars The Clone Wars. So these are the battle droids that were upgraded to be more deadlier and dangerous, because the basic battle droids, the ones that were like Roger and all that, were like always getting one tap by the clone troopers and the Jedi. So they upgraded them to be more deadly and ruthless and challenging for the Jedi and the clone troopers. So I'm glad to see they're making a return again. I'm glad to see that they're making a return, even though they already made a return back in season 3 of Rebels. Or not? I think it was Rebels. No, season 3 of Rebels or season 4, because they did appear in Rebels too. But I'm glad they're making their debut again, or showing up in games once more, because dog, these dudes were crazy. March 17th, 2023. Now, so I'm not gonna end the video here, but I'm going to show you why I say that the beginning of that trailer why the beginning of the trailer was Starkiller's theme, right? I'm gonna show you if I can find a starting screen. I'm trying to find a start screen. Alright, let's click this one.
Play these free games with Prime in December.
This may show the start screen. That didn't show the start screen. Okay, I'm gonna do K-Wing.
Force Unleashed. This is a original canon game. Basically, the main character's name is starring the
Okay.
Let's Plays channel and the start of another Star Wars LP, The Force Unleashed, which originally released in 2008, starring the apprentice of Darth Vader.
Whoa!
Yes, this is a original canon game. Basically, the main character's name is Starkiller.
Now you hear the theme, right? You hear the theme, even though you can hear K-Wing talk, K-Wing and them talking. You hear the theme for the startup sequence of the game, and just to anything but you, good sir. now, if we go back to the Jedi Survivor trailer,
I will not be imprisoned again.
I hear you've been busy making yourself the Empire's most wanted.
but once we get into this part of the trailer,
Jedi. Remind our friend here why his kind are supposed to be dead.
Here we go. After all we've done, the Empire's own.
you hear that same theme. So I'm gonna play it one more time.
Here we go. After all we've done,
And
the Empire's only grown stronger.
right? So that should just confirm right there that we're gonna most likely see Starkiller. And again, I'm gonna go back to the Force Unleashed.
What if you could look
Just
the
so
way
you
you
all can hear
feel
it one more
wherever
time.
you go? A cosmic adventure one
Nobody
day,
cares about this
and
sound. So I know people in my comment section are probably gonna say that's a stretch, but because I've played like all like the games from the older ones to Force Unleashed, like I know this theme. Like a lot of people won't really catch it because most people probably haven't even touched a Force Unleashed game in their life. But if you have, you would know that that theme that plays in the beginning of the trailer, or like close to that part of where it says this March, is Starkiller's theme. And then you even sort of hear it in the beginning of the trailer where Cal finds this guy. Like you
I was betrayed. Is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. I will not be imprisoned again.
Like you hear it right here.
I hear you've been busy making yourself.
So like right in
I hear you've been
Wait, hold on. I think I just saw somebody too. I don't
Busy
know if
making-
there was a. Okay, so there's a person staring next to Seer. And I believe that actually might be... That looks like it might be the Night Sister. That looks like it might be the Night Sister from the first game. So, man, I'm glad I went back to the trailer. So, this actually might be that they're, or my theory of like they're all just like there and they're like, child's like, y'all gonna get in danger if y'all stay with me. I need to do this on my own. Yes, and I'll like always come back in every once in a while. This might be that. So this actually might be their hideout. They all might just be hiding out and be like on the sidelines for now. But yeah, you like hear it.
I hear you've been busy making yourself the Empire's most wanted.
Like you hear the sound of Starkiller's theme, and then more evidence that I believe.
As
that
experts
it's
in online
Starkiller
education,
in
Purdue
the
University
pod.
Global gives you
Okay,
all the
I'ma
flexibility.
But I can only assume that he gave Lord Vader good reason to do so. I will not.
Well, let's hope so. I'm sick of training new pilots. What have you done to my ship?
I've taken the liberty of upgrading the Rogue Shadow sensor array. Now you'll be able to spy on any suspect ships within the entire system. You are one of Vader's spies.
You don't need to know anything about my missions except where I'm going. Now I need to jump to Nar Shaddaa. Can you handle that?
Now let's go back to that trailer.
The order is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. I will not be imprisoned again.
They have the same voice. And the way he says, I will not be imprisoned again. Right?
I was betrayed.
Now, if we go back to more of this dialogue.
The order is gone.
He says the order is gone. So, if we go to...
Unwittingly created.
At the end of this game,
Is born
you would know that Starkiller was the main
tonight.
why the rebellion.
We need a flag to rally behind.
Is born here tonight.
We need a flag to rally behind.
Now, when he said,
When I was looking at schools, some of the criteria that I was really looking to meet was having a staff and faculty who cared.
What he, well, Starkiller. He says, I was betrayed by the one I trusted the most. So we're gonna go back to this.
The Sith always betray. But I'm sure you'll learn that soon and be so much more.
You will never convince me to betray my master.
Poor boy. The Sith always betray one another. But I'm sure you'll learn that soon enough.
In the Force Unleashed games, Starkiller only trusted one person. And as the guy in the pod says, I was betrayed by the one I trusted the most. The one person he trusted the most, or Starkiller trusted the most, was Vader. And I'm going to prove to you that this is more evidence that that's Starkiller, right?
Then you are ready to stand with
Right
me
here.
against the Emperor. Return to my ship at once. we will at last control the galaxy.
Now let's move to the next cutscene. This is this, right? Now watch closely.
The Emperor's fleet has arrived.
You have lured the Emperor to us. When do we strike?
I did not summon him. His spies followed you here.
You see that Darth Vader stabbed Starkiller in the back. And it goes back to what that Last Jedi said. Sith always betrayed one another. Now, in retrospect, right? The story of Starkiller is that Vader had a secret apprentice that he was training to kill Palpatine, so when the time was right, Starkiller could kill Palpatine so Vader could rule the galaxy. Sadly, that never, Starkiller never killed Palpatine, but he did hold his lightning back. Right? Now, this part right here goes back to what the guy said in the trailer. The order is gone, and I was betrayed by the one I trusted the most.
What is thy bidding, my master?
You have forgotten your place, Lord Vader. By taking this boy as your apprentice, you have betrayed me. Now you will kill him, or I will destroy you both.
Master, we can defeat him together.
Do it now, Lord Vader. Strike him down and prove your loyalty to me. Yes, kill him, Lord Vader.
Fun fact, you know Sam Witwer actually voiced not only his own character, but also Palpatine in this game too. I was betrayed by the one I trusted the most. That's a little more evidence that that's more evidence that's Starkiller, but another evidence that that is Starkiller comes from the second game, which is the second line that the guy in the pod says, "I will not be imprisoned again." Now, if we go for something right? If we go to Force Unleashed 2, and we go to the beginning of the game, Vader goes to the cloning facility. And
you're alive.
How long this time?
13 days in isolation. Impressive.
The Force gives me all I need. How long this time?
13 days in isolation. Impressive.
The Force.
13 days and pretty much isolation, imprisoned. Starkiller was imprisoned by Vader by the time the second game came out. But he wasn't only imprisoned by, like, physically, he was also imprisoned by the memories of Vader while also being Vader's slave. Because if we go to the end of this game, to where Starkiller fights Vader and beats him, by this point in the game, Starkiller says this.
I let you live. You tell me I'm a clone, but I chose to spare you. Maybe Coda's right. Maybe this is all a trick, a way to get me so confused that I'd forget who I really am and become your slave again. But either way, I let you live. I've finally broken your hold over me.
As long as she lives, I will always control you.
So Starkiller at that point says, maybe Coda's right, maybe this is a trick to get all in my head so I will become your slave again. Either way, I let you live. I've finally broken your hold over me. And Vader responds to Starkiller, as you just heard him say, as long as... If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it in a Vader voice. You hear Vader say, as long as she lives, I will always control you. So, if we apply all of these, like all the dialogue, and listen to the voice, right? And we go back to the trailer of Jedi Survivor, because it's not about Cal surviving, this guy in the pod. And if we take all that dialogue from Force Unleashed 1 and Force Unleashed 2 and apply it to what this guy is saying,
The order is gone.
referring to how in the beginning of the game that the order fell, because Force Unleashed 1 took place after, like, took 9 years after Revenge of the Sith, when the order fell, right? That's what Force Unleashed 1 took place. So the order is gone, referring to Force Unleashed 1 of how the order fell.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
I was betrayed by the one that I trusted most. Applying the scene of Vader stabbing Starkiller in the back and tossing him out the window due to Palpatine. I was betrayed by the one that I trusted the most. Right? Take that. That's Starkiller. Because again, Starkiller was stabbed in the back and the only person he trusted was Vader. Right? So, I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
Imprisoned again.
I will not be imprisoned again. Referring to what Vader said back in Force Unleashed 2, it's been 13 days in solitary confinement, prisoned, or imprisoned. And then applying the same dialogue at the end of Force Unleashed 2 to where Starkiller says, because remember, Starkiller wasn't only imprisoned physically, he was imprisoned by the hold of that Vader had over him, and applying the dialogue from Force Unleashed 2 to where Starkiller said, "May Coda's right, May this is all just a trick for you to get in my head so I forget who I really am and become your slave again. Either way, I let you live. I've finally broken your hold over me. As long as she lives, I will always control you. I will not be imprisoned again." Apply all that dialogue to this dialogue of what this guy is saying. And this is why I say, like, if you really know Star Wars Force Unleashed, and you really like get the like start to like the crambling stuff, then you know that this is where you can actually start putting pieces together to kind of putting the clues together to understand that this is actually Starkiller. Like, you can arguably say, and again, I know there's at least going to be one person in my comment section who's going to say, well, you're stretching, Starkiller isn't canon, they're never making canon. Even though I showed the evidence of why this is Starkiller, and why that is Starkiller in that pod, like, there's still going to be one person who tries to argue with me. Even though I know my stuff, and I know the dialogue between Vader, or the dialogue and these events of what this guy is talking about is referring to Starkiller's events. Because we only know of one person that trusted somebody deeply and he got backstabbed and betrayed. And once again, we're gonna go through the dialogue again, so you could
The order is gone.
Again, the order is gone, and then again, the voice, right? Listen to the voices. They are the same, except in this it's a little more deeper. But I know Sam Witwer's voice, and that's his voice. Right, so the order is gone. The beginning of Force Unleashed takes 9 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith to when the order fell. The order is gone. In Force Unleashed 1, Vader is out hunting the last remaining Jedi, which turned out to be Starkiller's real father, who got killed in battle. And Vader took Starkiller and turned him into his apprentice. The order is gone.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. Referring to when Starkiller went straight back to his ship, to Vader's ship, and Vader stabbed Starkiller in the back and double-crossed him and betrayed him and then threw him out the window. And not only that, right? Not only that, I was betrayed by the one I trusted most, but going back to Force Unleashed 1, because there's 2 times Vader double-crossed him, right?
What do you say, burgers or pizza?
First is when he stabbed Starkiller.
Definitely burgers too.
And then the second time, to where Vader betrayed Starkiller. And we'll get to it.
Lord Vader, he's regaining consciousness.
Keep him.
Is right here. Right? So Vader said he would stay away from Starkiller as Starkiller's starting to turn over to the light side and become good and start over a new leaf.
Let this be an official declaration of rebellion. Today, we all vow to change the galaxy. And one day, the galaxy will indeed be free.
Vader attacked and betrayed Starkiller once more.
Proxy! Cut transmission!
Take them alive. The Emperor wants to execute them personally.
So Vader double-crossing Starkiller again. And Starkiller says this to Vader.
You
agreed to stay away!
I lied, as I have from the very beginning.
I've lied just like I have from the very beginning. So Starkiller was betrayed twice within the first game, until he finally had the chance to finally had the chance to beat Vader. And then going back,
The order is gone. I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most. And again, it's the same voice, because again, I know that man Sam Witwer's voice. It sounds like he's making his voice a little more deeper to sound like he has been in this freaking pod for almost over dang near 10 years.
I will not be imprisoned again.
And that is Starkiller's voice. I will not be imprisoned again. Going back to Force Unleashed 2.
You're alive. You're alive.
How long this time?
13 days in isolation. Impressive.
20 days in isolation. Interesting. Okay. I thought he said in prison there, but he says impressive. But yeah, and still, this goes back to what Starkiller or the guy said. I will not be in prison again. I will not be in prison again. Meaning, when Starkiller got imprisoned in the second game, right? Because again, he is in isolation. So in a way, that isolation is still prison. So Vader says 13 days in isolation. Impressive. Vader imprisoned Starkiller, and then again applying those same words to where he says, I will not be in prison again. Going back to what Starkiller says to Vader at the end of the game.
I let you live. You tell me I'm a clone, but I chose to spare you. Maybe Coda's right. Maybe this is all a trick, a way to get me so confused that I'd forget who I really am and become your slave again. But either way, I let you live. I've finally broken your hold over me.
Maybe Coda's right. Maybe this is the trick for you to get back in my head and I forget who I really am. Either way, I let you live. I've finally broken your hold over me. So applying again, and if you guys listen to the voice tone and the voice actor, it's Sam Witwer who is voicing that guy in the pod. Like, you can hear it when he says, like, you hear Sam Witwer's voice when he says, I will not be imprisoned again. You hear him. And again, implying what Starkiller says here. Maybe this is a trick for you to get back in my head so I forget who I really am and become your slave again. Either way, I let you live. I've finally broken your hold over me. Vader had a hold over Starkiller. He imprisoned Starkiller physically in the second game, but also he imprisoned Starkiller mentally within the first to the second game. I will not be imprisoned again. And Vader says this.
As long as she lives, I will always control you.
As long as she lives, I will always control you. Is it possible? Okay, it can be highly possible. Again, as long as she lives, I will always control you. It is highly possible because we're getting introduced into new characters, right? It is highly possible that Juno may actually still be alive within Jedi Survivor. Or maybe Juno may not even be alive, but maybe, because the end of this game, right, shows Juno and Starkiller get that off into space.
Prepare for light speed.
Fett's ship, right? Now, because there was never Force Unleashed 3, we don't know what happened, but it is safe to say if you're writing Starkiller back into canon, the best thing to do is to go off of this ending to where it makes sense. So, this is my theory. Okay, this is my story theory of how I believe Starkiller, and yes, I'm calling the guy in the pod Starkiller because, again, the dialogue that we just went over within this video and connected the dots to what this dude was really saying, and the voice is Sam Witwer's, as you just heard, right? This is my theory, alright? My theory is that, so we know at the end of this game of Force Unleashed 2 that they both go into light space, and Boba Fett, or we don't even know if it's Boba Fett, but somebody in Boba Fett's ship follows along behind them, meaning that Vader has a tracker on his suit, or had a tracker on his suit. Now, we also do know the bad ending is that the true Starkiller, like the complete clone, kills the other clone. What's that ending is not canon, right? So let's just say that's him in that ship. So my theory is that once they went into hyperspace, because it ended like that and they never continued it, which they were supposed to, but they didn't because Disney bought it out, right? Or whatnot. My theory is that in the time of them escaping or thinking that it's all over, they got attacked by Boba Fett's ship and invaded. Now, we do also know that General Kota is around in this time period frame, right? We do know that, but we don't know if he's on the ship. So Starkiller and Juno got attacked by Boba Fett's ship, which allowed Vader to most likely break out of his restrained chains. And because, again, he only has one hand, but the other hand isn't broken, Vader was most likely to break out of his restraints and use the Force to either A, not kill Starkiller, but he probably knocked Starkiller out, and because he knows Palpatine was going to kill Starkiller, he probably, once again, he probably did kill Juno, but then again, I don't think he did, because he says, as long as he lives, I will always control you. So I don't think he killed Juno. I think he just freaking told Homeboy, hey, take her, keep her alive, so I could have a hold of him. so I can have a hold of him or whatnot. But he probably knocked Starkiller out and put Starkiller, took control of the ship, flew to a distant planet, because that looks like a planet to where everything, like the cloning facility, that looks like the cloning facility, but it looks like it's on a different planet. So Vader knocked Starkiller out, took him to an unknown region planet, and then proceeded to lock him in that pod for what, over 10 years. So, because you see the hair is like kind of like all jacked up, his hair is gone, he got like little frost hairs, whatever, like, or white hair, and he seems to be completely, like, looks like he's been completely beat up and battled, battled to, like, he got really, really beat up. And most likely when Cal finds him, he's probably going to say, my name's Galen Merrick, but Cal probably gonna ask, like, what happened to you or not, and he's going to explain, the order is gone, I was betrayed by the one I trusted the most, I will not be imprisoned again. And I like this idea because this could give out the idea that Starkiller has always been in canon of Star Wars. It's just that he has been within this pod this whole entire time, and we never knew about it until now because Cal found him. And this is all, I like this idea too, because this also gives off the idea that they may just retcon the ending of this game of Force Unleashed 2, or make this ending canon to where it's actually canon, but switch a few things up because of the dialogue that would make sense of what he means by I will not be imprisoned again. Imprisonment could mean two different things, but for Starkiller's case, he was in isolation for 13 days, imprisoned. Vader had a complete hold over him and had him in a mental prison due to the second game. Imprisonment. You can be imprisoned two different ways. You can be imprisoned behind bars, or you can be imprisoned in your own mind space because somebody has a complete hold over you and has, like, messed you up so bad in the head that that person that messed you up badly fully has control over your mind space. And that's what happened with Starkiller within the second game. Juno was in his mind space. Vader was in his mind space. He was imprisoned in his own mental space because Vader had a mental restraint on him through that whole game until he finally broke his chains. Reason why Starkiller said at the end of the game, I quote, "Maybe Cole's right, man. This is all a trick for you to get back in my head so I forget who I really am and I become your slave again. Either way, I let you live and I finally broken your hold over me."
The order is gone.
We apply all of that to the dialogue.
The order is gone.
Order is gone, referring to the first game.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most, referring to Vader, how he backstabbed him twice.
I will not be imprisoned again.
I will not be imprisoned again, referring to how Vader had a mental hold over him but also how he was in prison in isolation for 13 days in the sequel of Force Unleashed. Like think about it. This is why I like decrypting stuff, and this is why I also say to like a lot of people, play a lot of games. Like play games like Star Wars or Sonic. Like if you're gonna play those games, make sure you start from the very beginning, because you never know when another game may come out or continue on that story to the canon of the main timeline to tie into the movies and shows and video games, that you may never know what you may have to decrypt. Because again, I'm only able to decrypt this and put together the clues because I've played these games. I've played the Star Wars games. I played Force Unleashed. I played Force Unleashed 2. I am thinking about getting Force Unleashed on the Switch because I want to get it. But I played these games, so I know what this guy is talking about when I say this is what he's referring to, and you hear that this is Sam Witwer's voice. This is Sam Witwer himself voicing this character. Like this is I am 100% certain that this is Starkiller. I am 100% certain that this is Starkiller. Because of the dialogue from Force Unleashed 1, because of the dialogue in Force Unleashed 2, because of how Vader double-crossed him in the first game, because how he double-crossed him again in the first game, because of how he imprisoned him in isolation for 13 days and had a mental control over his mind. Like, this is Starkiller. And then even the theme, like I said, the theme of in this trailer, when it says March, you heard that was Starkiller's theme. And then it goes into Cal's theme. So if retrospective, this is what I think the title Jedi Survivor means. I don't think it means the survivor of just Starkiller, and yes, I'm calling him Starkiller until the game comes out. But again, with the evidence that I provide, I believe it's Starkiller. But this is what I mean. This is what I believe. What the title Jedi Survivor means. I don't think it just means that it is the surviving Jedi, of Starkiller. But I also think this is going to be a story of Cal surviving from Jedi Fallen Order, but also still surviving in this game. And another thing I want to point out, which I didn't point out earlier, is Cal says, "We fight so Hope can survive." When Cal says, "We fight so Hope can survive," he is referring to Luke Skywalker. Now, in every single piece of media of Star Wars, anytime they say the word Hope, it's referring to Luke. Because Luke is the new hope of taking down the Sith. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole point of the New Hope movie was that a new hope has emerged. Just like Obi-Wan Kenobi said in the Holocron, a new hope will emerge. Even in the Force Unleashed game, at the end where they say it's a new hope, they're referring to Luke. Because at this point in the game, Luke is around his teen years. He's a teenager now. Even in the Kenobi show, they mention that there is a new hope. And who do they show at that point when that is said? They show Luke. Cal says, "We fight so Hope can survive." He's referring to Luke Skywalker. even in Star Wars Rebels, when Maul and Kenobi had the rematch and Kenobi ended him, and Maul's like, tell me, is he the chosen one? Yes, he will avenge us. He was talking about Luke. Because Luke was the one that went up against his father, but he was also the one that refused to give into the dark side when Palpatine told him to kill his father. Now, yes, in retrospective, the Return to Jedi title was the return of Anakin Skywalker. That was the whole point of that title of Return to Jedi, because Anakin finally returned as a Jedi and became a Jedi Master instead of a Knight. Or whatnot. When he killed Palpatine. We fight so hope can survive. Somewhere in this game, we're most likely going to see Luke. We're probably going to get a quick glimpse of Luke. Most likely. Most likely we're going to get a quick glimpse. But yeah, I can't wait for this game, honestly. I will be streaming this when it comes out and whatnot. And I really hope they continue with this game. Like, I really hope they make this game into like a 4-part type game. Like, arguably, I know there's gonna be someone that says like they don't want them to drag it out, but like, bro, it's Star Wars. Star Wars has been good since, you know, Star Wars has always been popular since like the very beginning. So they ain't gonna stop playing making Star Wars games. So, but depending on how this game ends, like, there's arguably gonna be a third game, because there's still the sequels. Like, there's the sequels trilogies that are canon, and there's these games which are canon to the movies. So I would really like them to go all the way up until like the Jedi series, all the way up to like Jedi 4, or maybe like Jedi 4 to 5 is like, I would love to see this game franchise with Kevin Monaghan. Like, I would love to see him just get his own full-on trilogy of games from 1 to 3 to 4. Like, I won't even get mad if they decide to stop at a third game, because at least he got 3 games. Like, and that says a lot about most Star Wars games that only get like 1 or 2 games and never continue on. So with Kevin Monaghan, of how popular that his video game franchise is, and it's developed by Respawn, like, I have a feeling we're gonna get like at least 2 more games before they decide to say we're ending it off. Like, I feel like once we get to the 4th game, that's probably gonna be the end of it, because it's probably gonna be set in the time of the sequel trilogy to Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker. Because if you don't know, these events are taking place during the Skywalker saga era. So sequel trilogy is part of the Skywalker era because it was the continuation of the Skywalker saga. So I would say they're probably going to give us 2 more games before they end it off, with those games being number 3 and 4, and then maybe even like number 5, just to be the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna end the video here. Again, I don't know when it's gonna upload. This probably gonna upload in the afternoon, or maybe later on. But I can't wait for this game. March 17th, and you know, we will be streaming this. Also, I will be streaming Jedi Fallen Order 1 later on today. Just so you all can kind of see the story of everything. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. and I will catch you guys in the next video. Also, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Turn notifications on so you know when I upload and stream. Also, I want to give a big shout out to 2 people, or a few people actually. First shout out goes to Arkham, my boy Arkham. Go subscribe to his channel. It is Arkham City, so go subscribe to his channel. The second person I want to give a shout out to is The World of Tyler Jackson. You know, that's my boy, that's my brother, even though me and him be having our back and forth fights and whatnot, but honestly, I love that brother to death, bruh. Not gonna lie. And then the third person, or the last 2 people I want to give a shout out to, is go subscribe to my boy, the Gamer Guy 98, if I believe that is Swag's channel. His name, Swag. If I messed up your last part of your channel name, bro, I am so sorry. And then the last person I want to give a shout out to is my boy EGK, Big Man on Campus. Alright, that's not his YouTube name, but EGK, go subscribe to his channel. I believe the last video I saw from his channel was like anime edit videos, so he does those. But yeah, go subscribe to their channels. Anyway, guys, I love y'all, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace. This game is gonna be crazy.